And welcome into the latest edition of the Rob and Comrade Show, the podcast that divides the Palmetto State. I am Rob Sanders, your host. I represent the Clemson Tigers, winners of 2 out of the last 4 national championships. Came up a little short the other night, but they are still the elite program in the country. I have 2 LSU nut riders that will be joining me here in a moment. Of course, they are I think one of them calls themselves they're both on the LSU bandwagon. It's really, really kind of funny. We'll start with the comrade, Mike Dobreski. Mike, good evening, sir.
It is great to be here. I didn't think Rob was going to show up. Was waiting and waiting. It's been a tough few days for Rob. But
okay.
Great night for the Gamecocks. We don't have to ride in LSU. Big win over Kentucky in basketball. We didn't storm the court. We've been there before. We've done it. We don't do those things.
Storm the court. So
no, we didn't. We didn't storm the court.
Okay, I have the footage. So you lie like Muschamp. But
we didn't storm the court. We
tried to, but security stopped you. Your athletic department doesn't have the money to pay the $100,000. So
we can put the 2 images next to each other. So some
I
programs
can show you
have been there before, done that. Not a big deal. Other programs, so big night for Gamecock basketball. A must win, and a weird win. Then they got the win tonight. So it's good to be here on a great night. We can talk about Kentucky losing. Clemson football fans have to deal with Duke basketball losing and UNC losing. That's hard for them. And of course, Joe Burrow is still putting up points as we speak.
As I said, a couple of LSU nut riders. So simple as that. We also have Cale Hall from the upstate. I'm actually curious to hear some of Cale Hall's stuff. You can follow Cale on Twitter at Carolina Jackpot. Cale, what's up, my friend?
How are you? Good to be here. It's been a great past few days with sports. Gamecocks tonight coming back from 14 points down to knock off the number 10 team in the country at home, which looked like a road game to me. There's so much down Kentucky blue in the stands. It's just what Final Four teams do. And, of course, Monday night, the great shut-uppening took place in the Big Easy. And it wasn't real easy for the Taters. It was really difficult. And then last night, of course, congratulations to the Clemson basketball team for taking advantage of Duke's yearly bed shitting against a terrible team and picking up a win at home.
Well, there you go. There's my 2 co-hosts. Let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia, Highway 1, diagonal from the Walmart. We appreciate them. They have the best beer, the coldest beer, the best wings, Buffalo Chicken Pizza. It's a great place to go. Watch the national championship game there on Monday night. Some of Cale's followers at Carolina Jackpot showed up. Shout out to Melanie. She showed up and hung out with us, hoping to see Cale. She came in hoping Cale was there. Imagine that, Mike.
Well, you can't. Cale's a celebrity. You just don't show up and see Cale Hall. You got to, he has an appearance fee. You have to pay him. You're roped off. I mean, it's not like
we're gonna do the best we can to bring Cale to our next live show. I don't know if I've got to go and work that morning for him or whatever at his regular job for nothing. But yeah, anyway, we'll have to figure that out.
That's about what you get paid. Nothing. Mm-hmm. That's about what they pay me.
I'm not mocking your job, Cale. I'm just saying that we'll do the best we can to get you down here, brother.
Did anybody out there buy any bowl merchandise off of Xavier Thomas, though? Anyone get one?
Oh,
get any bowl merchandise? You were selling some good stuff, I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought anyone got any deals on that.
I expected all of this from you because this is the whole deal with it, and I figured it out. But I tell you what, we'll let before I lay the truth down and bring the podcast back to reality and away from the LSU nut huggers. We'll take care of our sponsor, Dennis Wilson from DNC Trucking and Transport, because a lot of facts will be spit by the comrade this evening because Dennis doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. And Dennis didn't write this. He wrote this.
Dennis wrote it. Dennis wrote it.
You wrote this.
No,
don't lie.
It's I asked Dennis if I wrote it. He sent it to me.
You can always tell the angrier Rob is, the longer the script is.
I wrote.
Like a novel.
It's not a novel.
You wrote it all.
It's like 15 lines, Mike. If that's a novel, then that's your South Carolina education betraying you. But go ahead.
The good news is,
shut up, bitch, and
not
read.
my national champion.
Okay, shut up, bitch, and read.
Clemson my national champion?
Is that in the script?
I know. Are they though?
Is that in the script?
Read
the script. There we go.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson has won 6 straight games against my piss poor team. I am the king of the hypocrites. I was upset with Frank Martin the other night. I will celebrate his win tonight and spread the lie that we are a Final Four program. I also think Will Muschamp was a good coach. He could not hold Frank Martin's jockstrap, but I am so stupid I can't see that. I rode LSU's nuts the other night, and they won the national title over at Clemson. It is really sad that I can't rally behind my team. My team is hot garbage. Clemson is an elite program. They have won 29 of the last 30 games. I mock because I am absolutely jealous of what they have. My team will never have that. We have a liar and a moron for a head coach. I am satisfied with an 8-4 or for the 4-8 season. Remember, it sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers!
All right, one final thing that I have to play here. Here's the comrade being a hypocrite. Listen closely.
I'm disgusted. I haven't been this pissed about a Gamecock sporting team, athletic team in a long time.
There you go.
Yeah.
Talking about the Carolina basketball team. He's the king of the hypocrites, folks.
How's a hypocrite?
Shut up. King of the hypocrites. Pissed off the other night, but he's damn sure running around here tonight. Woo! We beat Big Blue. Fuck Frank Martin. Fuck Frank Martin Sunday night. Fuck him on Sunday night.
Wait. Did I call for? Wait. Did I call for Frank Martin's job?
You said you were pissed off at this basketball team.
I was.
You ride those nuts. Ride them hard, Mike.
You want to dabble?
Ride them hard. I did.
You're a hypocrite, correct?
No. I'm not a hypocrite.
You're not a hypocrite?
Nope, because I'm not a hypocrite.
We're not?
You're hypocritical. The hypocrisy from you that you
want to dabble fired. Now you celebrate dabble, right?
Do not spin. This is not about me. This is what you said. All right, we'll mute you.
Didn't you want dabble fired?
Not hearing it. You said point blank that let Kale talk. Kale knows. Go ahead, Kale.
What are we talking about here? Everyone's going to be pissed off after our team shits the bed and delivers a piss poor performance. And I don't think that he said that we don't have some issues, but hell, the proof is in the pudding. Number 10 comes to town and we take him down.
He's a hypocrite.
No.
Simple as that.
I don't think so.
I didn't call for Frank's job like someone I know. You want Brownell and Dabble fired, correct?
I do. Absolutely. Okay. I wanted Brownell fired. I still want Brownell fired.
Okay. But Dabble, you don't want fired anymore?
No.
So you're a hypocrite.
Look, I can admit that I made a mistake. The difference between the two of us is that you can't admit that you made a mistake.
First of all, I didn't call for Frank Martin's job. I just said I'm disgusted with how they're playing. And Frank Martin discussed how they're playing too.
Is that all you said? I've got more. Do you want to hear more? What you said? Sure, we'll play that.
And it's a mess. Can we still turn it around? Mathematically, yeah.
Mathematically, yeah. AJ Lawson sucks.
Okay,
he does. You have all that,
and there's no room for error. We have to be. Tonight was a must-win. And tonight's not guarantee anything. We have to keep on. I'm
redoing all the imaging to add Kale Hall, and I may call this the Robin Hypocrite and Kale Show. It's the first time since we've been doing this podcast that you went against your team and said they were a gong show, and now you're like,
I called them a gong show?
First thing you said they were a mess.
They are a mess. They are.
Okay, are they a mess or not? Make a choice.
They are a schizophrenic team. It's not playing well.
Are they a mess like you said on Sunday night?
They are still a mess. Yeah.
Kale, do you think your team is a mess?
No.
They are schizophrenic. As I said before, our basketball resume is Prozac.
They got a lot of talent. They're inconsistent. Inconsistent would be the better term.
It's not Frank Martin's fault, though. I think it's more on the players than Frank Martin.
Well, and I called out the players. I didn't call for Frank
you
Martin's
also
job.
called about Hannibal playing more and stuff like that.
I think he should play more. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't call for Frank Martin's job though. I don't do that. You called for Frank Martin's Daboll's job in 2010 because you were upset.
2010, and I've admitted that and said that I was wrong.
You were a hypocrite. Okay,
that's not. I admitted that I was wrong. It's not hypocritical to do that.
Well,
if you admit that you're wrong, that's different. The reality is
I admit that losing to Stetson's okay. I have to admit that losing to Stetson's okay. Shouldn't be upset about that.
But the point of the hypocrisy is that losing to App State is okay with you in football. That's where you're a hypocrite.
When did I say that?
You were fine with the 4-8 season, Mike.
When did I say that? Please show that.
You've been fine with the 4-8 season. You've said point blank. Will Muschamp needs more time.
Please show where I said I'm fine with the 4-8 season.
Okay, well, we can go back and look at it. No, but Mike, you've said point blank. Does Will Muschamp need more time?
I said he does. I also said
then that means you're okay with the 4-8 season. Let's move on.
No.
Do you want to talk about football or do you want to talk about basketball?
I want to talk about how mad you are right now.
I don't want to talk about you at all.
Lay back on the couch.
I asked Kale a question. Kale, what do you want to talk about?
AJ did shit the bed tonight.
Yeah,
thank God, Mr. Cousinard was there to shake the turd off the covers before we got into bed. You know what I'm saying?
Horrible.
I don't understand. Who is the guy that was trying to guard the Kentucky guard you just kept blowing past him, because that's why Mike Kotsar ended up in foul trouble.
Yeah,
who was that guy, Mike? It wasn't Cousinard. Who's the other guy that plays?
Manai didn't play well tonight. Manai didn't play well in the front. TJ Moss struggles in there. Lawson doesn't play defense either. I mean, Bolden played all tonight. I don't think Bolden's hurt. I think it was a coach's decision. And I think Frank needs to do that with Lawson one game. I mean, the issue with Lawson, if you had told me coming in, like right now, if you had told me on January 15th that A.J. Lawson would be struggling, I would say, well, that makes sense. He's probably trying to, he's probably pushing. He's probably, trying to impress the NBA scouts. He's probably, pressing, Like that's normal. Chris Silver did that early in the year last year. He was trying to kind of play to the NBA scouts, and then he kind of got back in the game. AJ Lawson's not doing that. He looks like he doesn't care. And I hate to I can't get into his head, but I'm talking about his body language, the way he plays. It looks like he has no motivation when he really should have, individually, the best motivation. He's trying to get paid next year. I mean, I don't. He's at this point, he's not going to get paid, but he's trying to get into the lottery pick. Okay, so he can leave early. And you would think coming in as a Gamecock fan, that's kind of a good spot to be in. That player with motivation of a big year, so he can lead the draft. That's usually a pretty good recipe for a big year. And the fact that he's not playing well just kills our team. And tonight's game, I don't know how. You look at the stats, it's the weirdest game ever. Kotsar, who's been our best player all year, does not score a point. So if you had told me right now, here's what's going to happen. Kotsar won't score a point. Bolden won't play. Lawson will go 1 for 9 from the field. Okay, and then say, what's the final score of the game? I would have said Kentucky 83, Gamecocks 54. Okay? And then we also went 16 for 30 from the free throw line. 16 for 30 from the free throw line. We shot, I think, 39% from the floor, I think, in that range. We might have got to 40% by the end of the game.
Kel, what'd you think?
I
Crazy.
don't know. I don't know how the hell you managed to foul out of a basketball game and score 0 fucking points.
Well, I can tell you why, and this is from what I watched. His guards put him into bad positions all night or maybe it's just the Kentucky guards are just a hell of a lot faster than the South Carolina guards. Mike, maybe you can help me with that, but it seemed like off the dribble, they were just faster than the Gamecock guards, and he ended up in a lot of spots where he's in no man's land trying to block layups and ended up with 4 fouls and then just couldn't get it established on the offensive end.
Well, I mean, that's true, too. Kentucky's really good. They got fast guards. But also, I mean, if you watch this team play defense all year, I've seen Stetson guards go around them. I mean, some of it's just kind of – I don't – it's a weird team.
Did you hear Frank Martin's comments that said that he is not – for some reason, I think the quote was, for some reason, I am not reaching our guards. They don't have the mentality that I want them to have. Did you hear that comment?
I just don't understand Lawson's issue. Like you would think you don't need to motivate Lawson. You know what I mean? Like he has the ultimate motivation of an NBA contract possibly next year. You know, doesn't that that's like why you play to get to this level is to go early to the draft and get drafted. And if anything, you would think like what happens with these guys, sometimes they press too much. Like they're trying too hard. They put up bad. Like if he's putting up bad shots, like forcing shots, you'd say, yeah, he just got to calm down. He's fine. But he's not playing defense at all. He doesn't and that's kind of important in the NBA. The NBA does not need scores. I mean, everyone in the NBA can score for the most part. This was a problem. John Wallace, who I played high school ball with, John was a great scorer, okay? And John played zone defense in Syracuse, which hurts him because you don't play zone in the NBA, and he was horrible man-to-man. And the reason why he couldn't stick in the NBA was because John could score 30 points a game in the NBA. The problem is the NBA team he would play against, I don't care who he guarded, they would clear out and give the guy the ball that John guarded. And so if John scored down the other end of the floor, they get the other guy, it'd be basically a wash. And he couldn't stay. The Knicks got rid of him. He went to some bad teams because bad teams get scores, and then he went to Europe. You've got to be able to play defense in the NBA. And Lawson doesn't even show like he wants to play defense. And I'm not sure what the issue is. Maybe something's going on. I hate to really come down hard on him because maybe something's going on with his life. Maybe someone's, he's got family issues. Someone's sick. I mean, I hate to find that out and say I was trashing him, but good Lord. I mean, it's hard to win games when your best player, your most talented player, is doing that. But Kuznauer took over tonight, and I think he's kind of leading the team now. I think it's his team. I still don't understand why Hannibal's not playing. I'm sure he blows in practice, okay? I am sure he's probably the worst practice player in the history of the world, okay? I'm going to assume that. But when he plays in a game, he makes a difference. And I know Frank is trying to teach lessons, and I understand that. But, we're in a position right now where we can't really, lose many more games. And tonight was a must-win game. I mean by mathematically turning around, I'm talking about going to the big dance, not the NIT, okay? The goal is to go to the big dance. And so we have very little room for error to get to the big dance. And we won tonight, which was a must-win. And now we gotta get a streak going here and build a resume up. It's gonna be hard to do because those bad losses just will kill us. And those are losses that could be avoided, if we just would have played consistent.
Cal, do you think the Gamecock team can turn it around?
Oh yeah. Yes, they got the talent and the coaching there to do it. So I think we got a decent part of the schedule coming up too.
I think the frustrating part for Gamecock fans is at the end of the year, I'm sure we'll be playing really, really well, like really, really well. And the problem is that we're going to be peaking at the end of the year. And what I'm worried about is the crap we did early in the year will keep us from getting the bid to the tournament. And we'd say, man, if we just could get in, we'd be dangerous. And so those games matter. So hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully we get hot. We play to our talent. AJ Lawson wakes up, and we go on a run here and turn things around and be who I thought we were to start the year. So if not, we're not going to make the big dance.
We'll finish up with the hoops with a couple of things here. First, South Carolina, the net rankings today, you guys were at like 125. I think that'll go up a good bit with the win over Kentucky. I think Kentucky was at 24, something like that. So, yeah, there's that too. Mike, do you remember the net rankings? They really go by that, don't they?
Listen, I think they got rid of RPI. They don't go by – they go by it's the net rankings and the quadrant wins. I'm still trying to learn the new system.
Oh,
but the big thing is the quadrants, right? You have the thing is 4 quadrants.
Something like that. I'm trying to figure that out too.
Yeah, so the 4 quadrants and so how many quadrant 1 wins do you have? And so I think the Stetson loss – it's almost like, the Stetson loss almost cancels out the Virginia and Kentucky win, Yep. So now if you cross those out, so okay, well, then who we beaten, right? So that's the issue with how I look at it. It's a Stetson loss. Basically, you have to win 2 big games. We won the 2 big games. So now that's kind of cleared out in a way. But the problem is, okay, well, who do we beat now? Right? Because you can't count Virginia, Kentucky anymore because of Stetson. So that's the disappointing part. If we take the Stetson loss out of there, I love to see what our net ranking is, or RPI, or our Sagarin, or our Ken Palm,
Right.
all this stuff. So, but
Ken Palm.
we can't worry about that. We have to try to go win as many games as we can, get a high seed.
Yeah, you need all of that.
And try to win the damn tournament. Try to win the SEC tournament. And I think we're good enough. I think we have enough talent to do so. Okay.
All right. Well, it's a big win for the South Carolina basketball team tonight. I didn't think it was going to happen. I don't think a lot of people did either. So big win for them. Hell of a coach in Frank Martin. I wish that the Gamecock fans would be a little more easier with him, but hey. Anyway, let's move to football. We'll recap Clemson's basketball win in a moment. Cale, your thoughts on the national championship game? I'll get both of your thoughts real quick before we and then we'll move on. But what do you think of the national championship game?
It went pretty much according to plan. I think it went the way that I thought deep down that it was going to go. I was a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. There, when the second half started, I said that it was imperative that LSU take that football down, drive down the field, and score. And I felt like if they did and go up by 18 points, that we could soon maybe possibly be licking our chops for a West Virginia type situation. But that didn't take place. The exact opposite took place, and what I did not want to see. The Taters go down, they score, hit the 2-point conversion, and at that point, I was really nervous. I was sitting here with a clenched butthole about that time, but Joe Burrow he just regroups the team. They do Joe Burrow things, get right back down the field, score again, and I think it was kind of classy of Coach O and the LSU coaching staff to just kind of run the ball the last 6-7 minutes there and not run the score up on Dabo and company. No need for that. No need to be classless. But it was a good game. Clemson played well. I thought they played physical, especially in the first half, and brought it. LSU is just a monster this year, man. It was just a monster. They just had the right combination of talent at the right time, the right schedule. Just everything was going their way this year, man. Cinderella story. I don't know if they'll be able to sustain it or not.
Mike, what'd you think?
Well, man, I didn't think if LSU got up early, I didn't think Clemson could come back. And Clemson, it played out perfectly for them in that they won field position, and LSU's offense and that looked good early on. And part of that was the fact it's hard to play offense from the shadow of your own goal line. And Joe Burrow did not look great early on. He looked a little bit rattled. Looked like the ball wasn't coming out of his hand the right way. He looked a little bit, kind of deer in the headlights for a little bit. And so I was worried about that. And then once they got normal field position, they did what I thought they would do. And the fact that Clemson could not get pressure unless they blitzed. And the one thing Clemson did do early on was they did a good job of disguising their blitz of who was blitzing, and Joe Burrow couldn't pick it up. And one of the things LSU was doing was bringing all their formation, everyone close in, and that was hurting them because they couldn't pick up who was blitzing. And I think they went away from that, spread the field out a little bit more, could identify who was blitzing. And once they did that, Clemson really had a hard time stopping them, which I kind of figured they would. I was impressed with LSU's defense. I'm not sure, Trevor struggled a little bit. And I think that was the difference in the game. I thought they would match each other point for point. And the difference of the game was Trevor couldn't hit those passes that Burrow was hitting. And so the back and forth kind of ended, and LSU kind of took control. But like Cale said, when LSU didn't score to start the half, and then they missed the field goal there as well, I was seeing visions of a Clemson comeback and some, one of those wins where everything kind of goes their way. So it did look that way for a bit. But LSU, it was their season. Burrow, man, that's a tough kid, man. He took a shot there before the half.
Rumor has it he broke a rib.
Yeah,
I don't know for certain or not, but that's what I read.
And that's painful. Bruised ribs are even more painful than broken ribs, believe it or not. But he was tough, man. He's really fast. Like, I always forget how fast he is and how hard he runs. I mean, he doesn't run like your typical quarterback. I mean, he takes off, and I'll be interested to see what kind of NFL career he has. I'm kind of curious about that. It depends who gets him and what kind of system he's in, and if he has a good coach or not. But I'm curious to kind of follow his career. But what a season! He had 61 touchdown passes for the year, I believe. Correct?
Something like that.
61, which is the all-time record. To give you an idea, no, I think it was 60. I think it's 60. The all-time Gamecock passing career touchdown leader has 61, I believe. So the Gamecock career leader has 61, and Joe Burrow had 60 this season. To kind of give you some perspective on the two programs.
Well, Joe Burrow was a machine. So here's what happened the other night with the Clemson and LSU game. Trevor Lawrence had probably his worst game of his college career. He was overthrowing passes and that just throws that he hadn't really made until he got in there. And he had to have a really good night, in my opinion. You can't go toe-to-toe with that LSU offense. They're just too good. They're just too good. Clemson did do some good things as far as getting in and getting to the quarterback. They had, I think, 5 sacks on the night, which is more than anybody had all season. So on that front, when they dialed up pressure, they did do a good job with it. I have 2 complaints with Clemson. One of them was, I don't understand why the drive at the start of the third quarter, they gave the ball to Travis Etienne. Etienne runs up and down the field. Keep feeding him the ball. Why? It seemed like they tried to get cute, and that's what was working. They should have kept going to that. Amari Rodgers didn't show up. I don't know what happened to him, but
he got tattooed one good time. That's what happened.
Yeah, he got hit. He got hit one good time.
Motherfucker didn't want to catch the ball no more after that.
Might be right though, but I think I did say at the about the 8th game of the season, I thought LSU was the only team that could beat Clemson. I think it's clearly defined. They were the 1 and 2 teams there. The last AP poll has them at 1 and 2, and then after that, it's whatever, however you want to do it. I think it's horseshit that Georgia's 5. They shouldn't be 5, but we can go about our way on that. It doesn't really matter. You don't get anything for finishing at number 5. So, but
you kind of got lucky there against Ohio State though. But that's splitting hairs.
Well, either way, there were some Clemson fans that were upset about the officiating. I'm hoping that Mike will agree with me on this. You did not see one post from me or one text from me about officiating. No. It's the officials are the same for both teams.
Not from you, but it was amazing.
You cannot bitch about officials.
It was amazing on social media. All of a sudden now, Clemson fans got religion on targeting calls. Suddenly they didn't like those targets.
Look, I caught hell for that, but the reality is it's the same thing with the Ohio State play. If you lower your fucking head, it's a target. Simple as that.
I think the rules. I think the rule is dumb in terms of throwing out of the game. I think it needs to be more about intent. Like sometimes, like the one play, the Oklahoma kid,
but you'll have
LSU.
Man, have you watched any of Kale's videos on Carolina Jackpot?
Some,
if you watch any of Kale's videos, he's got you thinking one thing 1 second, then he's laughing at you like you're an idiot the next. Kale, did you agree with the targeting or not?
Yeah.
At least we both agree on that. The people bitching about that, just let it go.
It wouldn't have made a difference anyway. I mean, your 17-point loss, that wouldn't have made it. Referee, you can't. I don't know.
Well,
it's about like I don't know. There were some shitty calls in that Florida game, Florida South Carolina game. I mean, good lord. But I mean, they're still sitting there. I even had damn Georgia fans telling me the refs cost y'all that game. You lost because the refs. No, we didn't. We lost it because we shit the bed in the fourth quarter and couldn't make plays. It wasn't referees' fault. It wasn't referees.
Generally, Mike agrees with me on that, unless he's trying to troll people. But the refs are the same for both teams, and they're human, and they're going to make mistakes. As far as Clemson goes, though, when you really step back and look at it, they've won 29 out of their last 30, 64 out of their last 69 games. With Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott as offensive coordinators, they're 70-5. They're the most dominant program in college football right now. I know you two may completely disagree about it, but I've got the numbers to back it up. Las Vegas has them as the favorite to win the national title next year. So for all you Gamecock fans that, hang your hat on this LSU win.
And you were the favorite this year.
It depends on who.
That's the closest that you will get to a win, because mark it down. I've said it on the show before.
So are you saying
Let me make sure that we understand everybody on the show before. Clemson is going to win 10 straight against you.
Like the
ones decade of dicking. It's coming.
That depends
like
on
if
ETN comes back next year.
10 straight.
Like
10
Don
straight.
Staley? Well,
Kale, you don't have a snowball's chance in hell, Kale. We're talking about basketball, Mike. Stay on topic.
No, I'm talking about national championship.
No, we're winning 10 straight against you. I guarantee you that.
So if you were ranked number one this year,
championship. Now we're talking about 10 straight.
Ranked number one this year, and you couldn't get it done, so you can underachieve, correct? And now you're favored for next year.
We're favored for next year.
So yes. Next year.
That depends on if ETN comes back next year.
We win with or without ETN.
Okay. I mean, you ain't winning a national championship with one.
We're winning with or without ETN.
No, you all next year. So you're
we're going to win the entire thing. I'm calling it now. We're winning the whole thing.
Okay. Well, that's
we're gonna beat your team by.
Do you think he'll get to the playoffs? Got a lot of tough games on that schedule. Think he'll get there?
Well, I've tried to get our schedule to be tougher. I've actually, and this is not a joke. I wrote a letter to Dan Radakovich saying we should not play South Carolina. We should not give you a Super Bowl, because that is the Super Bowl for your piss poor team. We should not give it to you. We should not give it to you.
The Sagarin rankings actually improved when you played us.
I don't care. You bring nothing to our schedule.
Well, we actually brought it down. We actually improved it.
The only thing you bring to our schedule is the Clemson Touchdown Club gets to have a game at our ghetto home in Columbia.
That's what I thought a few years ago too. I said, "Hell, this shit's getting boring every year."
Yes, it was.
Yeah, well, I was like, we need to get to Miami Hurricanes or somebody a little more competitive on the schedule. But
then maybe you should do that. But you guys aren't competitive right now. You're at least 3 years behind the recruiting cycle. So, and you have a liar coach. Is your dog all right? Holy shit, Kale.
Yeah.
Sound like somebody dropped something on her.
She probably heard a fucking leaf hit the ground outside. This damn dog barks at everything.
Well, anyway,
she's good.
That's kind of the wrap on the Clemson season. You can't really I mean, they lost one game. It sucks. It's hard when you play in the college football playoff. It's tough to win it. It really is. Couple of notes from that game and instant response from you guys. T. Higgins announced today that he is out. Your thoughts, Kale?
Good. I'm glad. Glad to see him go. But everybody says that
Justin Ross,
what's it, Frank Ladson and Joseph Gata with a silent N is going to be just fine. I didn't really see a lot from either of those this year, so we'll see.
Mike, what do you think about Higgins leaving? You think that's the right move for him?
Well, hopefully. Listen, I can't stand the draft and all the sports for baseball. I feel bad for kids like T. Higgins that have to kind of just, you rely on people's advice to you, right? You rely on someone telling you, we think you're going in the first round, we think you're going in the second round, and hopefully they're right and everything's fine. And so it's a tough spot. I love how baseball does it. You don't put your name in the draft; they draft you, and they come talk to you and say, "Here's what we're going to offer you money wise. Do you want to stay in school or not?" And you go, "You know what? No, yes." I wish every sport would follow the baseball model. You don't put your name in the draft; they draft you. They negotiate with you. You either go and stay in school or you leave. It's real simple. I think it puts these kids in a tough spot. They listen to the right people. Some have good people around them. Some have crappy people around them. And, and they get screwed in the end. So hopefully for him, even though he's a Tater, well, he's not a Tater anymore. He's leaving. I hope he gets drafted where he expects to be drafted and he gets paid and can take care of himself and his family and that, a success story.
I personally think he should have stayed, and I'll tell you why. The highest that I've seen him on any draft board is the number 19th overall prospect. That's not a first-round pick. There's going to be guys that shoot up the board at the Underwear Olympics, and I think that he'll end up as a second-round pick. But that's just me.
And that's the thing. The ball takes is one guy or two guys around and say, "Hey, man, I heard you're going top 20. Heard you're going top 20 in the draft."
That's the thing. There's a big difference between being rated the 19th best prospect and getting picked at 19.
Well, I'm sure he's got someone around who says, "Hey, you're 19th best prospect." He's thinking, "Okay, I'm going 19."
That's
So I mean that's the issue. These are young kids. That's what I'm saying. It's a tough spot to put them in. Don't enter the draft. Have the NFL do the draft? They draft the players they want. Boom. You negotiate with them. All right. Nope, not enough money. I'll stay in school. I mean,
Well, we're waiting on. I think Isaiah Simmons is going to go. He's. I've seen him in several mock drafts, anywhere from 7th to 3rd.
Yeah, he should go.
I think he is going to go.
He'd be dumb not to. You don't want to mess around and tear your knee up or something.
AJ Terrell has not put out his decision yet. That guy looked PDS. He looked.
He looked special ed the other night.
Yeah, he really did. He didn't look very good the other night.
Not about Ed Orgeron either.
He just didn't look good. I think of all the guys that had an opportunity to go out there, I thought he looked the worst. ETN, on the other hand,
where do you think Tanner Muse goes in the XFL draft?
I don't know. He'll go somewhere. Tanner Muse, but I think AJ Terrell's going to come back. Mike, you know that Tanner Muse is Mike Muse's son. You know that, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So is Nick Muse.
No. Nick Muse has a different dad. It's just Tanner.
That's Billy's son.
Yeah, that's Billy's son. Yeah, there you go.
William Mary.
Anyway, but no, the other guy, ETN, I think he should go because of the fact that he is a running back.
Yeah,
running backs don't. If you go for like your back, it's. Kale, you said something the other day about Dabo Sweeney. You'll say something and give them the come to Jesus meeting or whatever, and one of them will come back. I hope that meeting doesn't go to ETN because coming back, I think, for him would be a mistake.
Yeah, running backs need to get to the league as fast as they can because of their contract. That second contract, they're at a point where they're declining, and NFL GMs are smart enough now where you don't ever get paid. So the quicker you can get in the league, and the quicker you can get to your second contract and be healthy, running backs kind of get screwed in the NFL.
Yeah,
so they need to fix their CBA when it comes to their second contract. They really get screwed in the NFL.
Their shelf life is pretty short in the NFL.
Well, here's the other thing. I checked this out earlier today. How many running backs were drafted in the first round last season? Cale, do you know?
It wasn't many.
Barkley for one. Is that the only one?
No, Barkley wasn't drafted last year.
That was 2 years ago. Yeah.
0, gentlemen.
Yeah.
0 running backs. It goes back to what Mike said.
It wasn't many. Told you.
Yeah. Well, see, that changes. I mean, because now, like for instance, Big George.
Hold on, just for Cale. There you go, Cale. You get credit for being right with that one.
Yeah,
what the hell? What was it?
I don't know.
You didn't hear that?
No. The old thing.
Yeah, the ta-da. I gave you the ta-da chant, Cale.
So in the 1980 draft or 81 draft, so to say, George Rogers, a running back, went number 1 overall, and there's no way that probably happens now because GMs don't value running backs. Even the Barkley pick 2 years ago with the Giants, people didn't like that pick because it's just that running backs are viewed kind of now as more a dime a dozen, that you really build your running game by your offensive line, and you have a tandem of backs running the ball. It's not using the whole feature back thing, and so the running back position has been devalued. And you can see that in the draft over time, that they just don't. That's why they don't get paid. I mean, the Cowboys paying Zeke, I think they overpaid. I think it's going to kill them in the cap because I think they're paying too much for running back.
Yep. Kale, do you think ETN should go?
Yeah, he definitely needs to go. Definitely.
And you're not just saying that from a fan base. If you were advising the young
he
man,
needs to fucking go. No, I have his best interest in heart. I think he needs to go.
I don't believe your best. I don't believe that.
We're about the kids. We're worried about the kids, Rob. We're not selfish like you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm selfish. No, I think that out of all of them to go, I think Higgins, Simmons, and ETN should go, in my opinion. That should be the best route, in my opinion, for those guys. But we'll see where it all goes from there.
You know, you got some stupid bandwagon Clemson fans on Facebook or wherever that when you see, and I have seen people post this. Y'all think Trevor will come back next year?
Yeah, no, they're just so stupid. The new fans, the new Clemson fans are the funniest people on social media. They try to make comments about, and you can tell they have no clue. Like, my favorite one is, I don't know what it's like to lose. This is hard. I'm so used to what we do is win. It's like, really? How long have you been a fan for? Oh, but for a long time, for 30 years, really? And I posted 1990s to him. How about that? Oh, but that, it's just so, it's funny. I mean, your new fan base is pretty hilarious.
Go ahead, Kale.
Nothing. I'm just laughing.
My final thing from the national championship game, and this is going to be a bigger story than it was. The footage comes out of Odell Beckham Jr. giving players money on the sidelines, and then LSU at first comes out, and they're like, "Oh, it was fake money." Did you see that? And then they moonwalked that shit back when Joe Burrow today said, "Oh no, that was real." So I don't know. I'm questioning Joe Burrow's his intelligence because I mean, he shouldn't have fucking said that.
Maybe it's only real money to the people who are leaving. Maybe Odell gave fake money to the kids coming back.
Will you stop moonwalking, you jerk? You can't go with that. He was giving money to everybody. There's footage of him giving money to the fucking punter, Kale. Should he have given money to the punter, Kale?
Pretty bad look.
Maybe he broke it in New Spring.
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. But that's pretty goddamn funny.
I mean, at least, oh Lord.
God, that's funny. Final thing we'll get into this evening before we get out of here. The Clemson basketball team wins over Duke. What was it? 79-72. They've been playing a lot better basketball, winning games with NC State, at North Carolina, and then the Duke game. I thought Duke was going to ramrod them, but impressive win for Clemson. I am consistent, though. I still don't think Brad Brownell is worth a shit. And I'll continue to say that. If they go the only thing it's the same thing I said last year. He'll be worth a shit to me if he makes the Final Four. Other than that, I'm done with Brad Brownell. It's our basketball program is in the shitter right now.
He's working on an extension right now. He's working on an extension.
I don't think so. I honestly think that if they don't make the tournament this year, I think they're going to fire him. He's
doing some Cliff Ellis stuff right now. 1990, beating Duke and UNC in the same season.
Yeah, but Cliff Ellis was a good coach.
Oh, hey, he did the same thing
Cliff Ellis did.
Cliff Ellis was, I mean, and let's be honest, he was cheating his ass off. I mean, let's just be completely honest. But yeah, there's a reason Cliff Ellis still isn't there because he's still coaching his dick off down at Coastal. So, but Brad Brownell still needs to go. I don't care how many wins he gets. It's all like it's like putting a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. That's where we are with Clemson basketball now. Yay, everybody's happy. And you know what? I'm not trying to cater to these two doofuses here. Stop storming the fucking court. We look like bums when we do that. Stop it.
Well, at least it wasn't Belmont this time.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Stop storming the court.
At least it
You
wasn't
really
game.
think somebody could do much better than Brownell though?
Yes.
And
Yes, I do.
Oh, those coaches are all. You're not going to get an
Look,
elite level coach to come there. I mean, you could find another Seth Greenberg or somebody like that.
I respectfully disagree. They need a coach that has a system. They need a coach like Oliver Purnell who knew that when he could not go and get top 10 talent, but you know what he could get? He could get big, long motherfuckers that can stand here and play great defense, and he could tell them, if they score, I hope you die. And they would play defense like that, and he taught them how to hit layups and to make the outlet pass. They started to get back into respectability, and then he was able to get Devin Booker and the kid that from Tennessee that would shoot from three-quarter court. That's how you do it. He had a system with that, total pressure. It does work. You need a guy that can do stuff like that. You can coach. If it's all about the X's and O's, you can get a high school coach. Okay? Coach Bailey Harris at Lexington is a hell of a coach. Won state titles there. He could coach guys on the X's and O's and make it work. But it's not just about that. It's about the whole thing with recruiting. You got to be able to recruit and develop players. It's not just about can you draw up good plays on the sidelines.
Got to keep it tight when you recruit.
Stop. You need to do better than that and have a system. We need an Oliver Purnell type coach. Shaka Smart would be great.
Jesus Christ! I didn't know you were going to get that fucking fired up over it.
No, look. I'm a Clemson hoops guy. I love Clemson hoops.
Everyone here wants to talk. You know, if you're going to talk basketball, talk about Duke because your fan base loves Duke basketball.
And that's another thing. God, oh, Jesus. You pissed me off tonight. Just fucking.
I had a dude tweeting me today, a Clemson fan, ragging me with my football team, going on and on about my football team sucks. I clicked on his profile. It said in his profile, all in, Clemson fan, football fan. This says Duke basketball fan. And I said, dude, thank you for tweeting me. I'm going to screenshot this. You are a saint. He goes, what? What do you mean?
Well, you sent the picture to me, and I just sent it back to you just with, huh?
Yeah.
What?
He's all in, though, bro. All in.
God.
Did you say the Rock's dad died today?
The Rock's dad died today. Let me correct Lewis
I didn't know he was his dad until Brandon
Rocky Johnson was his dad. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Lewis says Oliver Purnell used Clemson as a stepping stone. No, sir, that's not true.
Stepping stone.
No,
program.
sir, it's not true. What happened with Oliver Purnell was he was fucking the swim coach. His wife found out about
it.
That's what happened.
He wanted to go to RuPaul.
He wanted to go to Chicago.
RuPaul. No one wants to go to DePaul.
They have more tradition.
He wanted Cubs.
Ray Meyer.
Yeah, he was. And Joey Meyer. Mark Aguirre went there.
Yep.
Dallas Comegys. Here's a good name. Where's Dennis Wilson? He knows who Dallas Comegys is. Remember Dallas Comegys? They had a good team back in the 80s.
Yeah. Now you're trying to piss me off.
Rod Strickland.
If you want to know the truth is he was having sex with a swim coach and he had to leave. That's what happened. That's why he left so abruptly.
You're a Final Four program.
Who's the Final Four program?
DePaul.
Did DePaul the Final Four?
Yep.
Good for them. Well, anyway, Luke Kuechly has retired. Your thoughts on that, Kale? Do you think it's time before his brain turned to mush?
Yes, definitely. Sounded a good run.
And listen, good for him good for him. Like nowadays, you know, the salaries are getting so good for these players that why would you hang on? I mean, he's a good-looking dude. I mean, my wife loves him to death, and you know,
you want to date Mike?
He's smart. He was an All-American at BC, academic All-American at BC. He can do other things. He got money in the bank. Why would you risk? I mean, look at some of these football players, man. You see a lot of them now with 150-year anniversary and 100 anniversary NFL. Look at them, man. The guys who played in the 70s and 80s and played for a long time, they don't look good, man. And I think the quality of life issue, you got to get out. So good for him.
He's 28. by the way. Let me correct Brandon Kuhn here. He thought Purnell was DePaul's coach. No, he coached at Dayton. He went from Dayton to Clemson to DePaul.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened.
He was started out at Old Dominion.
Yeah,
he was at Old Dominion too, but he came to Clemson from Dayton.
Clemson was a lateral move.
You don't leave out the Monarchs.
He made a lateral move from Dayton to Clemson
Mm-hmm.
because Dayton hosts the tournament every year.
Yep.
For the first four.
Yep.
Dayton, Ohio, the Flyers. I lived in Dayton for a while, 2 years.
Well, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again with Clemson basketball. We are the equivalent of the South Carolina football team. That's where we are. Absolutely no tradition, no hope, no.
Never were a top 10 team for 3 straight years, so
you don't get a ring for that. So
I'm sorry, but you were never a top 10 team. For 3
keep on
years.
keeping on there, Mike.
Never had number 1 draft pick.
I'd like to see DePaul get back to the Final Four again, though. You know, that's one of those programs like St. John's. You know, it's kind of like a volcano that's bubbling. One of these days it's going to erupt.
Well, they should. I mean, it's not a real hard job. We got tons of talent in that area.
Would you wear
Chicago?
a DePaul shirt,
Shit,
Kale?
yeah. What?
Would you wear a DePaul shirt if we got you one, Kale?
Shit, I'd rock that shit. Absolutely.
If they go to the Final Four, can we paint DePaul on your forehead?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
If you can make Gonzaga a good basketball program, you can make DePaul a good program.
Mm.
It depends on the coach and the culture and the system you put in, but I mean,
well, I'm gonna make a bet here on the Rob and Comrade show. Kale, you plan on sticking with us for a while, right?
Yeah, I've made it this far.
All right.
I know.
He hasn't made it through the first month yet, but my prediction for I think I don't know. Do you get tired of the Comrade shit? I got people sending me hate tweets about this motherfucker. You may not want to do it.
He's like fucking Jim Cornette. I could listen to him all night long.
See,
of course you could. Well, if you guys want to go on a date, we'll be happy to pay. We'll be happy to pay for it, just like Love Connection. But no, big bet.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you happen to notice that the Mazodcast dudes they uploaded a podcast talking about Missouri basketball, which who gives a shit, but also about the national championship game that they recorded it. I saw it today. I heard it today. I guess they recorded it before the national championship game, but it's pretty hilarious.
They do a hell of a podcast.
They're talking about Ed Orgeron, and they're like, I just can't, his name, it's either Coach O or Ed. I mean, I can't, but I can't call him Ed to me. You, Caleb, and I said whatever he thought he looked like, and they said, what do you think his wife calls him? And they're like, I think she calls him big greasy fat guy who pounds me all night. Well, they were talking about Nick. They're talking about Nick Saban. Apparently, they hate him, and they're talking about. I'm just so happy that this little douche tip is going to sit at home on his couch and watch the damn national championship game, which he was actually there though. They said because it has to be eating up his inside. This big, burly, fat, redneck Cajun guy is the one who knocked his team off the pedestal. Is the reason why they're not in the national championship game.
Yeah, the Mazodcast. If you subscribe to this show, you should subscribe to the Mazodcast because it's really, really fucking funny. But yeah, there's that. As we move along, we'll be keeping up with the rest of the departures. I think ETN goes. I think Simmons goes. Is that your cat, Kale? You're not.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's the new kitten there for
You
Kale.
got a whole zoo going on here.
What else you got? You got a dog, a cat?
It's like Noah's Ark.
Whoa!
Oh shit!
You okay?
Did she scratch you?
No, she took her paw underneath here and batted at the dog under the coffee table, and the dog didn't like it, and she jumped back.
That's
like
pretty,
10 feet in the air.
That's pretty funny. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We've had a great show this evening, gentlemen. Looking forward to our show on Sunday. Oh, we're going to do our NFL picks real quick before we get out of here. San Francisco's a 7-point favorite over Green Bay. I am going to be a homer and take the Packers. Mike, who you got?
I think San Fran's the best team in football, but I would love, as a historical buff, to see Green Bay win and play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, kind of rematch Super Bowl one. But I'm going to take the Niners
Where's this one at?
in San Fran. Santa Clara.
Okay. What do you got, Kale?
Green Bay's a really good team, man. I think they're going to cover the spread and possibly pull off a shocker there. But I really think I see San Francisco winning. I think they are the best team out of the four left. But I'd take Green Bay to cover.
And Kansas City's a 7-point favorite over Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee to cover. I'm riding the Derrick Henry train here. Until somebody stops him. He had 183 yards against the Patriots, 195 yards against Baltimore. And right now they're playing with house money. They don't give a damn. They had a warehouse of fucks and they gave them away. Give me Tennessee to cover, but I think that the Chiefs will win it.
I agree the same thing. Tennessee, that's too many points to give Tennessee a running team like that. I think KC pulls it out in the end. Maybe it wouldn't shock me if Tennessee won the game, but I'll take KC to win the game. But give me the points and the mighty Titans.
The mighty Titans. That's cool. Kale, your pick?
I take Kansas City to cover there. Really impressed me the way they came back against the Texans this past Sunday, and I don't think they can slow them down enough. I think they'll cover.
Melanie says, "Oh my God, Kale's got a new pussy." That's not nice, Melanie.
Better than the old one. Wow. I don't know what they means. I don't.
This is why Kale's gonna leave the show. Some shit like that.
I don't even know what it means.
No.
I don't even know what my statement meant. So it's funny.
Wow, that's great. All right, so we'll have a Super Bowl matchup on when we go on the air on Sunday. Gentlemen, I've enjoyed the show, and Lewis says Debo scores the winning TD just for me. Thank you for that, Lewis.
He might.
He might. All right, Kale, you have anything else?
No, that's it. I'm looking forward to Sunday's show.
Man, we got him on the hook, Mike. He likes doing the show. Imagine that.
It's a good time.
All right, with that, the show's a wrap. Thanks a lot, guys.